What is up, guys? MACABESPEED coming at you. Great episode today. Hopefully going all the way to the finish line, same way we did yesterday on that wildly popular stream we had, going start to finish on some great Airgun prints. We'll be doing the same exact print that we did yesterday, but we're running 4 machines simultaneously at this point, batch printing the entire mini farm that we have. 4 machines, 4 different colors, 4 different build plates. Should be a good time for all involved. So we got in the chat, Finding Torikins, welcome. Carl's dog, you're at it early. I'm always at it, my guy. I'm always at it. There's 24 hours in the day and 0 of them are for sleep. Mooncat, welcome. G-More, welcome. What's up? King Break Barrel, what's up? Welcome to the Conundrum. Is that a free file? You know what? Let's talk about it, Rick. That's a really great question, and I'm glad you asked it. I actually drew this specific file from All Shapes and Voids. This is not a file I downloaded. This is not a file that I got from anybody else. This is a file that I literally draw from geometric shapes in a CAD file. So because I have that personal work into it, I actually don't give these files away at this point because it is kind of my bread and butter. If there's a point in time, like if I hate to put it out there, but like, you know, one day if it's like a legacy archive and I'm no longer around, maybe all my files will come out, but don't you know, delete me just to get my files, right? Like the memorial archive, right? This is Mac's life work on a flash drive right here. Should be pretty cool build today. This is going to accept 2mm fiber optic, which is a really good standard size for a pump action air gun, right? Pump action air gun has that cyclic feeling of a pump action shotgun on the powder burner side, right? And a lot of those have bead sights only for intuitive, fast target acquisition, fast aiming, that real quick point and shoot kind of action. The Megalodon from AEA does bring that to the table, absolutely in spades. And because of that cyclic function and effectiveness, I also tried to go ahead and design this product in front of you to give it that intuitive target acquisition. Just a quick fiber optic bead sight, bright as day, because we do use True Glow, actual True Glow fiber optic sights, and it's kind of a cool thing. Once again, we're doing 4 different finishes, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick peek at that now. See if we can rotate without destroying the entire stream here. Got green carbon fiber, military green carbon fiber here. Then on the file one next to it, flipped over to a smooth build plate. We've got kind of a metallic gunmetal silver, like a dark thundercloud gunmetal silver there. And on the very end, just because some people seem to like it for whatever reason, and I have an extra roll laying around, I did a transparent red, like a translucent red. So kind of a cool plethora of filaments to run with this Sunday morning, Small Business Sunday. Make sure you smash that like button, double tap the screen if you like what you see, and we will get all the way through this together. I will be in and out because small business is more than just posting on the internet, right? You actually have to do the small business part of small business. So I want to get people's packages fulfilled. I want to get some cardboard recycling taken care of once again today. More cardboard to recycle. But that's what happens when you purchase at least on the bare minimum 20 kilos of filament a week. It's kind of, I know there's probably people out there who would smoke that and call that rookie numbers, but honestly, that to me, that's pretty good filament usage. Make sure you guys go ahead and give it a thumbs up. King Break Barrel, before I get out here and go ahead and start doing the other tasks, says you have a whole factory. Dude, you know what? The one thing I did from the very get-go is I never, ever, even until this day, have cut myself a paycheck. I've never paid myself, and I've always paid my machines and reinvested in my machines and been like, you know what? If I invest in myself, that investment long-term will become a financial vehicle that is much more lucrative than just a short-term pay yourself, you know, steal from the till type mentality. That's why I have the factories, because I literally, instead of paying myself, just bought machines. All right, you guys, I'll be milling around, buzzing about, doing the things that I'm supposed to do. Probably come back with a cup of matcha here in a minute. But enjoy. Please throw down any questions you have in the chat. Make sure to double tap that screen for a thumbs up. popping back in, checking back in, seeing what's happening in the stream. Trainwreck CS says almost as much fun as watching glue dry. You know what? Some people are into it. I'm into it. Seems cool to me. Cheers, Trainwreck. Blood Ops, welcome. See you in the chat, my guy. Is there like a running wager on how long my 1980s water heater is gonna actually last, or maybe if it'll just like take me out one day on live stream? I mean, that thing is old, and it is actually a pressure vessel, right? I don't keep it exceptionally hot for that reason, but who knows? Wonder what the odds are. Throw it down in the chat right now if I should just buy a new water heater. I don't have the money to buy a new water heater, but I do have a Lowe's line of credit with like a 35% interest rate. So that's what those things are for, right? That's what it's for, baby. And if I need one, I'm gonna get financed at 35%. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Good morning, gentlemen. Now, what's interesting about the last comments in the chat from Trainwreck there, it says almost as fun as watching glue dry is actually close. I almost read it as almost as fun as watching a glue gun, which is basically what you're seeing in front of you. You're seeing a very precision glue gun with a very small nozzle taking a very thin 1.75 millimeter glue stick. So you're actually not far off if you just change like a tiny little bit of verbiage there, right? You're close, you're close. So it is almost as much fun as watching a glue gun. But let's go ahead and take a slide down here in elevation and see if we can't see what's going on actually on the build plate and take a look at what we're doing. Coming along, dog. Coming along. Looking good. Does glow in the dark. This color glows in the dark. I'm a 90s kid. I like that shit. Let's go ahead and travel down the manufacturing line at this point, and we'll go ahead and see what each one of our finishes is kind of netting us as far as our current pace is concerned. We got the glow-in-the-dark green luminous, it's like white with a green glow-in-the-dark feature once the lights go out and it gets hit with UV. We've got the green carbon fiber right here, same exact file, same exact start point. These are all on a batch print, which means they were started at the exact same moment in time, same speed and parameters. Then we got this guy right here, which is basically like a metallic silk dark thundercloud gunmetal, kind of a cool color. And none of these are like retail sale. It's just stuff to do, you know, stuff to kind of experiment with different filaments. You'll take stuff like this and use them as promotional items. Somebody will buy a Megalodon rail and you'll toss one into the box free of charge, just so somebody gets, you know, a cool experience when they open their box. It's just, I don't know, fun to do, right? A lot of filament out there. Try it out. Why not? I'm actually surprised I was able to like move down the assembly line that smoothly without losing the stream completely. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. There we go. What's the best lighting here? I think that's it right there. All right. Hell yeah, that's much better. No glare. Drop a like if that's a better image for you. Right now we have 4 machines going. If you guys want to add 4 more machines to the stream and start streaming 8 machines simultaneously, if we get the viewership to 1,000 people viewing the stream simultaneously, I will add 4 more machines to the stream in addition to the 4 we're already running. It could get crazy. I mean, if we keep meeting viewership goals, I have as many as 21 machines, 25 machines we could get started right now. And if you guys just want like a crazy print army on film, I'm fine with that. That's like my whole life. I have like a printed existence. Good morning. Cheers to everybody out there. Black coffee in a mason jar, if that's your kind of stream. Checking out some excellent modern manufacturing of pre-charged pneumatics. Drop a like. I want to welcome all the regulars to the stream as well. I do see a lot of normal faces that I would typically see here on Saturday or Sunday morning in the chat already, and I thank you guys for the continued support. If you're new here, welcome. We do talk about 3D printing, air guns, small business ownership, entrepreneurial dreams, and capitalism in general. Pretty cool stream for those involved, and honestly, I try and give out as much free information as possible. So if you're receptive to that type of a stream, if you're a keep your head on a swivel type individual, might be a good fit for you. Go ahead and strap it in. I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing things that a small business needs to do to operate and function, but I'll check back with you in the chat as the stream develops. Thanks for being here, guys. go outside? Come on, big dog.
Good big dog. Good big dog. Let's go. Let's go.
Wow, I did not realize I was this far behind in the chat. I did not realize I had top chat and not live chat on. This is crazy. Do you have your home on solar panels? Because I assume these printers require quite a lot of energy. They actually don't. They're only using about 50 total watts individually per machine. So to run an entire 4-machine farm, mini farm like we're doing right now, this is only about 200 to 250 watts, including the pad that's running them. I didn't realize that the chat was so advanced here and I was so behind. Sorry, guys. What's going on here? He says, WTF am I watching? You are watching the 3D printing of AEA Megalodon Airgun accessories. Pretty cool process. 4 different materials, should be 4 different outcomes. We're gonna go start to finish. We're gonna get this thing across the finish line, break them off the build plates when it's all said and done, and show you the differences that each filament has produced and the differences that each build plate has produced as well. People really seemed to vibe on this yesterday when I put this, an initial stream similar to this out. So I wanted to go ahead and really follow up on that and follow the audience interest level and see, like, maybe you guys want to see more printers running. Like I said earlier in the stream, if we get to 1,000 people in the chat or in the stream viewing, I will turn on 4 more machines for you guys, and we'll make this an 8-machine stream as opposed to 4 machines. I've seen it up to like 350, and I'm like, wow, that's like the highest concurrent I've ever had. People seem to like it. If you're like uninitiated, 3D printing is pretty rad. I want to say welcome, cheers to each and every single one of the 256 viewers currently with us. Now, I drink all of my coffee out of an Atlas mason jar because the Hazel Atlas mine portal in Northern California produced some of the purest sand used for glass production in the history of glass making. That's what gives it that signature greenish tint to the glass that you can kind of see is the really high silica content that was found in the sand of the Hazel Atlas mine portal. Because of that fact, it was sought after for a long time, and the Hazel Atlas mine company sold sand to places like Atlas Mason. Atlas Mason then went on to make a, multi-generational family business making these jars, and I still use them to this day to great effect. They're pretty awesome. I have really old ones too that my wife got me. I kind of like keep them on a shelf and don't use them, but I do have them for posterity. Jesse Powlock, welcome. Jesse Powlock, welcome. Great to have you in the chat. G Moore says, I like the metallic one. Eduardo says, what are you doing? We are going ahead and at this point making accessories for the AEA Megalodon PCP pre-charged pneumatic airgun. Good for business, keeps customers happy. You know what? I try and toss in gifts in every single box. Does it smell like melted plastic? It does not. This is actually a type of plastic called PLA, which is very, 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 very low emissions as far as like, you can't smell anything. There's no visual smoke coming off of it. There's no real particulate that I get coming through my HEPAs or anything like that. It's a pretty clean process all in all. Need that vertical magazine I saw you use for the S45. It is available. Check out the pinned comment. Derek says, I like my coffee hot, so I drink it out of an insulated cup. It's this is warmish. It's not like the hottest coffee in the world, but it's not cold either, right? I go for volume over temperature, so I did get in like a 26-pound box of lead slugs yesterday. So I was thinking maybe I could just like go ahead and grab said heavy ass box for you guys and then just start opening and unboxing it for you so you can kind of check out the haul. If you're into that, go ahead and smash like. Definitely do throw down in the comments what you would like to see as well. Do you have a Discord channel? Bro, I'm old. I don't even know what a Discord channel is, if I'm really honest. And I'll just go ahead and show you who you're dealing with. It's this guy. It's this guy. It's this guy, right? It's me. I'm old, man. I don't know what Discord is. I don't understand the whole Discord channel thing, but maybe I could learn one day, right? Possible. I'm an 80s baby. That's all I'm going to say. I'm an ancient 80s baby. And it's funny. It's like the older that I get, the more I feel like technology is advancing faster than I'm able to keep up with it. And I'm starting to feel like the old people I saw as a kid when I like first saw social media hit and they missed it. Or when, you know, cell phones first got small and smart and they missed it. I'm like, damn it, it's happening to me now. Now I'm the missed it. I'm the missed it now. This is terrible. This is horrible. How do I check out a pinned comment to get the S45 vertical magazine? In the chat for this live stream is MACABESPEED.com, and it's spelled exactly like my channel name, MACABESPEED.com, and you just type that into your browser and you'll be able to get to my website, my personal website, where I have a ton of ways for you to trick out, deck out, and spice up your pre-charged pneumatic air guns. It also does help support the channel because we do not take financial monetization from any other sources. We simply make it ourselves independently, which is the way I'd like to keep it. Thanks for the questions, guys. Beast mode, welcome to the chat. Big thumbs up. You do live, didn't show up on my feed. You know what? A lot of what I do will not show up on a lot of people's feed. A piston. This is actually not a piston, but I see where you're getting that visual image from. This is like a barrel band that also encompasses the pre-charged pneumatic tank on a Megalodon, AEA Megalodon air rifle. And this is going to allow you to have something the factory denied you, which is iron sights, right? A lot of these PCP guns are like, oh, if you spend $1,200 on an air gun, you easily spend $200 on an optic. You don't need iron sights. When in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, if the optic breaks, there always has to be a backup iron sight. And for that price tag, we should be getting iron sights for the $1,000+ price tag. I paid $900 for my ZPAP M90, and I got not only the used red dot that came on it, but iron sights, right? So for less money, I was able to get iron sights. The pre-charged pneumatic world can do better than that. You guys are working at higher tolerances. Give us some iron sights. Says he's an amazing air gun. Thank you. You know what? I just don't stop doing it. That's the one thing that like separates me from other air gunners, I think, is like we've been doing it for 15 years. So with a 15-year YouTube video library, I don't know, it's like that's the only thing that separates me from anybody else. Just I kept hitting record. Even in the times where I was like, man, YouTube is seriously making me have way worse day-to-day feelings about myself than I would normally without it. Even in those times, I kept hitting record and press forward, and it became a positive thing over time as I was able to develop the channel and develop my own like approach to it as well. You just got to keep hitting record. They want us to buy scopes. Oh, no doubt. And watch. It's Ben Tack is just the first person to come out and say it as far as like having an optic branded in his company name. But believe me when I tell you, there's got to be a connection between airgun companies and scope companies. Otherwise, they would never like absolutely pigeonhole you into purchasing an optic with no option for open sights whatsoever. I mean, that's so archaic. Stephen, welcome to the chat. We're not allowed big bores in South Africa. I think it's interesting. I'm not like familiar with like all the laws all the way around the globe, but I would definitely say that the United States is probably one of the last frontiers where air guns are fully unregulated, both on energy level as well as caliber, as well as like cyclic function per minute. You know, like you can get a Hatsan Blitz with a 32 round magazine and 30 caliber that will empty that magazine in like 2.2 seconds on full auto. And that's fully legal in America. You just order it out of a magazine and it comes to your house with no exterior markings on it whatsoever. Other countries would look at that like, you've committed heinous crimes, right? Mega heinous crimes, just for the same exact thing of purchasing that fully automatic Hatsan Blitz air rifle, which is fully legal in America to purchase. Makes you like look at it like, you know what? You don't really realize how good you have it until it's stripped away from you through registration. Because of that fact, I'd say, you know what? We need to realize in America that we do have a lot of privileges with the PCP airgun stuff, and we need to do everything possible to vote against legislation that tries to lump these in to the firearms powder actuation side of it. It's not the same, even though it seems close to the same. It is not a direct analog to a firearm, and air gunners will instantly have their rights stripped from them overnight if legislation is enacted that lumps high energy PCP air guns in with firearms. For sure, overnight, gone. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a trip down the assembly line. See what we're doing here. This is our white luminous material, which is glow-in-the-dark green. Then we move over, hopefully I could do this without destroying my stream. To the left here, we've got the green carbon fiber. And this is actually a real carbon fiber material. This is a pretty rad material. I like to go ahead and spray these with clear coat just because it is kind of an abrasive material. Even after the part's finished, I do like to clear coat them just to kind of insulate the end user from that. But a really great looking finish as far as that green carbon fiber. It's like a metallic thundercloud dark gray silver, almost a gunmetal silver. This is like a transparent red. Do I print magazines? I do absolutely 100% print AEA Megalodon magazines, and they do work good. People do like them. I'm trying my best to reassess this tripod. I have to just buy one, dog. Dang. With the 26 cents that I make per stream, bro, I can afford to buy a tripod. I just gotta do it. FX magazines. No, I'm too much of a poor boy to have an FX. That's the problem. See, I only think it's ethical to go ahead and make magazines or accessories for air guns that I physically own, so I can be holding it in my hand while I'm making the parts for it, so the parts fit really good for whoever buys it. Right? That's the only way I feel good about it. So I can't like take the FX spec off a site and just make a part without having one in my hand. And they're too much money for me to be able to physically hold one in my hand. So I don't have any FX magazines. That's the real truth. That's the real truth. People think that like YouTube, even if you have a large platform, it pays a lot. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Have 115,000 subs. I think last month we made what, total of $650 or so for 4 million views. Real numbers. I will say this though, I'm enjoying the heck out of this live streaming, guys. This the live streaming I've only started to do over the last couple of days, as far as the vertical lives, and I'm really enjoying it. I think that this is great. The direct back and forth connection with the chat community is, most people are pretty well behaved when they come into a stream like this, and the people who aren't, we communicate them quickly and efficiently. So it's a good experience so far, and yesterday was by far the most popular thing that I've ever done in my entire channel's history, long format ever. I've never put out a long format video. I did 60K plus in 3 hours. So if that's the meta that people want to see, if that's the thing that the community wants to go ahead and pay attention to, I'm happy to go ahead and follow that signal from the community and give you guys what you want. PA Lead Slinger, what up? I have a Titman 22 and a Vulcan. Both are tack drivers at 50 yards. Cool. Me too. PCP air guns in Greece are expensive. You know what? Anytime where you have firearm restrictions, ooh, this is spicy. Anytime you have firearm restrictions of any type, no matter what that firearm restriction is, you're going to have air guns with prices that are over the top, right? So if you have a country where you don't have access to firearms whatsoever, air guns in that country will be astronomically priced. In this country, America, where we stay currently, in most states, felons, people who have been convicted of felony charges criminally, can own an air gun. So in that sense, it's just like this countries that can't own firearms. The air guns get real expensive. And the air guns that can be defensively used, you'll notice the price tag has that F tax, that felon tax of the inflated value, because it's the only option for some people. I do feel 100%, I don't care who's watching, whether like people, vendors wise, I mess with or not are watching. It is kind of a predatory pricing scheme, because you guys got fish in a barrel, and it's like, well, if they don't buy this air gun, what else are they gonna buy? Type mentality. And they absolutely kind of like profiteer off of people's previous poor decisions, which I think is sucky. That is sucky, and they shouldn't do that. But inside of that, they also have that fallback of saying, well, you know what, we put a lot of research and development into developing high pressure pneumatics and developing safety measures for these super high pressure vessels. And I'm like, you know what, I do get it, but it's only so expensive, and it's not as expensive as the high price point required on most offerings that people consider to be defensive air guns. So there is like exceptions to this rule, right? The AEA Harpoon. The AEA Harpoon is extremely effective, and it's also very aggressively priced. I mean, it's twice the price of a Maverick 88 12 gauge powder burning shotgun, but it's still only about $400 or $500 out the door for the AEA Harpoon Magnum, and it is very effective. No matter what, pick a caliber, it doesn't matter. It does have the energy, it does have the ass to be considered a defensive tool, and that AEA Harpoon Magnum is at least one that is in the realistic price point range of what people should expect to pay for a defensive air gun. Beast Mode, thank you. Can you make harpoon bodies? Different colors. You know what? Let's talk about that. This type of printing in front of you, this type of print, where's my pointer at? This kind of printing in front of you is called FDM, Filament Depositional Modeling, which means it makes it layer by layer. And the types of maybe recesses and intricacies that would be needed to make a harpoon body are not typically going to come out great with FDM. That would be more of like a resin printing, 3D printing type of an operation, which I do absolutely none of. Has toxic fumes, deals with a liquid resin. I don't like resin printing at all, even though resin printing could make the higher definition quality that you might need for an intricate part like that. Great question, though. Shout out Jesse Powlock. You guys should go check out his channel. He's literally the person who inspired me to do these live streams. PA Lead Slinger. A sub to that Jesse dude. He's dedicated, hardworking no matter what. I agree 100%. $8 today's verse is, wait for the Lord, be strong, let your heart take courage. Psalm 27:14. What is happening? Checking in with the chat at this point. Mac, do you have the premium version of Filmora? PA Lead Slinger says, absolutely. But the thing about it is I don't know if the deal that I have is actually available for everybody out there at this point. I've been having Filmora for over 10 years now. And because I've had Filmora for over 10 years, I purchased it outright with free upgrades when the program was available initially. And that was, like I said, 9 or 10 years ago. And then now I still get free upgrades to every new one that they release, every one that they put out. I'm still getting those free updates, but I haven't had to pay anything because I'm still grandfathered in on my initial purchase ownership of that program. And then, yeah, getting that premium through that purchase, that initial, it was like 79 bucks. I paid like 79 bucks for the whole program. I got it, that unlocked everything for me. And then at $25 every, 25 bucks every 3 months for some external effects, right? And then that gives you some like premium effects from the store, like different transitions, different green screen options, stuff like that. Mike, welcome to the chat. I'm gonna go get this big 26 pound box of lead slugs, and we'll just go ahead and start to go through it together. People seem to be enjoying the stream, so I want to go ahead and add some value to it, and go ahead and check out this haul. Be right back. I was gonna open this by myself. Denjo, welcome. I was gonna open this by myself, but I was like, you know what? As soon as I saw the clean green wrapping from Texoma Precision Pellet, I decided to go ahead and share this with you guys. See what we got. Open it up. Ooh. Lots and lots and lots of saran wrap. All the ASMR guys are going crazy. What are we gonna have in here? Oh, these are cool. Very interesting. This goes for the AEA harpoon, and it appears to be a barrel adapter with a rifled steel barrel for the AEA harpoon. Yeah, that is exactly what that is. Is that not cool? Now, we're not doing any harpoon stuff. We're not making any harpoon parts today. These are from the AEA Megalodon. But it looks like these barrels are for sure for the AEA harpoon. Let's see if it passes the magnet test. Let's see if it really sees. Does it pass the magnet test? Oh, it totally does. 100% does. So this is the rifled steel barrels. Rifled steel barrels, kind of shorty, kind of stumpy. Works with the AEA Harpoon Magnum. Got lots of stuff for the AEA Harpoon Magnum on MACABESPEED.com. So if you are curious to learn more about it, do definitely check it out. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 of these barrels. Why is that? Because I bought a bunch of AEA harpoons. Also, I did buy a bunch of AEA harpoon magnums to go ahead and add to the store. People really seem to be enjoying that platform this year. So, got 6 of those 100% ready to rock and roll. These steel barrels are cool because not only do they accept the shot shells, but I think they also accept 72 caliber slugs. which I'm pretty sure this box is full of. So we'll go ahead and check it out together. 6 total. They're 8-inch barrels. Starting off big. Nice. Woo! $900 grains. 72 caliber. These are big. These did really good when I tested out the Zeus Mark II. These did really well. I was happy with the performance and accuracy and energy. Good pellets, good airgun pellets. It's in this little box. This is how we pulled it out of the pack. It's in here. Cool. Cool. 630 grain. The next package in this box that we have together to unbox here, 630 grain, 72 caliber, dead soft lead. Real cool from Jim at Texoma Precision Pellets. Going ahead and taking care of a live unboxing for the first time in a long time while we go ahead and take care of these Megalodon parts. Coming out good. Coming out good so far. Next box. Great question. That's a great question. Javer Fally, what is the maximum time these printers can operate? Do they automatically go into a safety mode? What about heat output? That's such a phenomenal question. I am going to answer that directly right now. These will run indefinitely. I have run prints that are, 100 hours. Long prints, sustained prints. You're looking at a machine that currently has 210 Celsius on the extruder and 60 degrees Celsius on the bed. They all come from China, so they are all Celsius machines. I don't know how to change them over. It's 4 years in. I don't know how to change it to Fahrenheit, but those are the settings I run. That heat output stays stable because of, I think they're called thermistors, right? Thermistors, they sense the temperature and they make sure that it stays within a specific range. If it starts to do something which is called thermal runaway and starts to get really hot and really out of control, the machine just shuts down. And then it gives you an error message that says the machine shut down because of thermal runaway. But I've never had one enter a dangerous situation where there could potentially be like a fire hazard. If these are working correctly, they will absolutely run 24/7 with absolutely no breaks whatsoever, except to change filament. Good question. That's a good question. Wow. Hella rad. So now this is cool. 1280 grain slugs for the AEA harpoon, as well as Sabot style shotgun shells for the AEA harpoon with a slug inside. If I remember correctly, that's a 58 caliber slug, and it's like 600 grains, something like that, some big number. So this is a cool package, and this is obviously for the AEA harpoon. Cool thing, cool thing. Let's check out our progress. Coming along. coming along. That was a very old water heater. It always makes me nervous, like standing close to it for extended periods of time like this stream, because I'm like, you know, it's old to the point where it's just old. Just crossing that first hour of live stream. Really good response from the community so far today. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning. Thumbs up to everybody in the chat. Appreciate the 77 people here currently watching this stream. Vil, welcome. Have printed airgun projectiles. It does work. It does work. But it works best in the sense of making a sabot and then nesting a central projectile inside of that, as opposed to making an entire printed projectile. It's just not physically enough weight with most filaments to be able to generate the result you're looking. In your opinion, what's the best long-range air gun on the market? Gene Shriver, welcome, welcome. Honestly, I would say that right now, currently, the best long-range air gun currently on the market is any of the Challenger Pros are pretty good. The M-Car seems to be pretty good from what I've been seeing online. But yeah, the Challenger Pro is really good. The MACABESPEED MA2 is really good. Right off the top, those are the ones I can think of right out of the way. I will say that this zero filament is extremely reactive to UV light. As a 90s kid, 80s kid, glow in the dark is cool to me. Gene Schreiber, thank you. No problem, dude. Cavity MA2 is less than 500 bucks. Also, it's like 400 bucks, something like that. Will it stay that color if you continue to use the UV light on it? No, actually, this is the type of filament that's going to go ahead and absorb that UV energy, and then it's just going to go ahead and dissipate it over time, as any standard glow-in-the-dark item typically would. This isn't one of those ones that's like activated by UV, but I do know exactly what you're talking about as far as UV activation. Great question. See if I can get a better UV blast on it if I go from the top. Could also ruin the whole stream, so there's that. Seems good. We'll let it ride for a little while. If people hate the UV printing, we'll just go back to standard lighting. But for, you know, different change of effects, seems kind of cool. Please throw down any questions you may have about 3D printing, small business ownership, YouTube channel growth, or any other comments that you may find relevant to the chat. Thumbs up. It will be. Beast mode. Will this fiber optic be like the rails you have done for the Challenger Pros? Something similar, but I also want to go ahead and make it just a little bit better for you guys. I noticed that fiber optic only really works for one reason. Let's throw some light on the subject. Fiber optic only really works for one reason, and that reason is because it's taking light in from the body of the fiber optic rod itself and is funneling that light into the end where you see it here, which is why that tip is so shining bright and why you can see it so well when you go to acquire a target. So the Challenger Pro Rail had a fiber optic that was just sitting on top like this, and it had the end exposed like that, but it didn't have all of this surface area also exposed to light to be able to gather that light and then redistribute it to this business end of it, right? So there's an additional window that's cut into this specific part. Let me get a better pointer. There's a fatter window. You might be able to see back there cut onto that part. And what that's going to allow for is that's going to allow the maximum amount of light transmission into the side of the rod body here so that it can funnel it, once again, out the business end of this fiber optic and get it to light up the way you see in front of you. Now, this is kind of a special fiber optic rod because it has a green exterior with a red focus dot in the center to really give you a smaller MOA style target than a traditional 2mm rod would give you. These are great for bows, these are great for air guns, these are great for rifles, but I've found them to be extremely effective on this setup. It is an option. Check out MACABESPEED.com. Thanks for the question. I do try and like answer as many questions as possible, and I'll go ahead and just run you guys down the assembly line at this point. We got our glow-in-the-dark luminous material. As you can see, we do have a UV light above it. Then we got the green, classic green Army carbon fiber. Then we got the metallic thundercloud gunmetal style gray, and it's really kind of a sweet color, coming out great on that smooth build plate there. Really good. And what do you notice about this thing? My slicer settings are off the charts because right now we have full 90-degree cantilevered overhangs with no support, and my edges are just crispy. So I would put my slicer settings against anybody's slicer settings, but yeah, no support, crisp, looking good, looking solid. My ancient water heater just kicked on right next to me. It always makes like this disconcerting growl, right? Very old pressure vessel. I'll have to replace that at some point. Now, some people often wonder, does this hologram transfer to the bottom of a print? And the answer is absolutely yes. I have a lot of different styles of holograms that I do like to imprint on specific parts. This one's just kind of a done for fun style part, but I do imprint holograms onto things, kind of like a watermark for quality, so that somebody can't return something that they've purchased from me and be like, oh yeah, this was purchased and blah, 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 I want my money, but no, you didn't purchase it from me. It doesn't bear the stamp. So this does definitely transfer that build plate to the work item, and you can change that with any type of a build plate that you would put on there. Like this one's going to have kind of a rougher sandpaper texture right here, and then the one next to it is just going to have that smooth galvanized steel appearance. But yeah, patterns do transfer. Be your own boss. Be your own boss. I am making a fiber optic front post sight for an AEA Megalodon air rifle, pre-charged pneumatic air rifle. 321, welcome. Beast Mode says that green Army one and the metallic one are great. Thank you, thank you. I know the red and the glow in the dark are kind of a little bit out there, but by the same token, this is kind of just a fun stream, making some interesting parts that we'll just go ahead and toss in as promotional items for people with their orders. You know, somebody buys a Megalodon magazine and they happen to pick something up. Maybe I'll just go ahead and toss in the glow one. Somebody buys a Megalodon, you know, rail or whatever the case may be. I'll just toss in the green one, and I'll just kind of throw people little gifts with purchase. I love having people be over impressed by what comes out of a box as opposed to like disappointed for any reason whatsoever. I cannot live with that. Change the lighting back to the UV. Booyah. Extreme reactivity. That is all I'm gonna say. The zero filament is just reactive. Some glow filament don't glow. This glow filament do glow. As promised. As promised. I'm not just gonna go ahead and like, you know, throw it out there and then bail on you. I did grab these for my friend to check out here. Eric, they exist, bud. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it the best I can. We have smaller ones, and we got bigger ones. Like really fucking big ones. My goal, and you just guys, I'm just spitballing with you guys, right? Just give me a little bit of feedback on this. I feel like if an air gun runs out of air before it runs out of ammunition, that's a better situation to be in than running out of ammunition before you run out of air. If one magazine can support the entire capacity of air on the airgun platform, that to me sounds like less time reloading is less time, you know, not defending yourself. I think, and that's the ultimate point. I think a lot of people try and downplay this. A lot of people try and hate on me and like, you know, blacklist me into oblivion because I say this, but I think a lot of people purchase the Bintac T9 just because of the fact that it has defensive capabilities, and the idea of not having to fumble with a kind of difficult to change magazine and having one magazine that you can leave in the gun that supports more than the air in the platform is capable of sending. That's a better position to be in, as opposed to needing to swap multiple magazines because there's, yeah, rather run out of air before I run out of air. Exactly, and I agree with that completely. This one here, this is designed to hold 24 JSB 82 grain airgun Diabolo pellets, and they're on this belt fed follower that tracks on this ejection port right here, keeping each one of those pellets separated from each other so that you're not crushing the ammunition, and each one kind of has its own individual cradle to roll it along and get it into the breech. This recess right here is where the breech locks on the magazine and keeps it from ejecting itself the way the standard stock magazine does. Some people would kind of question whether or not the hologram does transfer, and you can see on this part here, hologram has transferred. I always do this on stuff like prototypes just so I don't accidentally send out this prototype. I mean, not everybody wants, you know, the sparkly hologram one. So for me personally, doing this on my prototypes keeps these from going out into a customer hand. Stuff that would be printed for like retail sale would be stuff like this. Move over like a textured build plate, printing army green carbon fiber over here. Printing this absolutely sexy Thundercloud gunmetal silk metallic, and it is coming out good, dude. And you know what? I think that this is just going to absolutely match the Megalodon as well. Producer Steve, what up, what up, what up? Welcome, buddy, welcome. Great to see you here, guy. And this one's done just because I had the red material around. Once again, I don't expect to like retail sale any of these offbeat colors, but it is cool just to be able to have them as like promotional items so that you could go ahead and just, you know, do nice things for people and toss it in free to a box if they happen to purchase something from you. I love doing that. Gift with purchase is my kind of style. Other thing people kind of ask you is like, is the UV filament actually UV reactive, and how UV reactive is it? Extremely reactive. Now what's cool about this, not that it really matters, right? It's just like, once again, just an interesting thing to do as a promotional item, kind of a cool thing to do and test out some filament. But the good thing about this is this glow-in-the-dark filament actually produces enough light to shed light on a fiber optic. And if this has the ability, if this is emitting light like you see it currently, it will light up a fiber optic rod even though it's not tritium. Eric Wade says, thanks, Mac. I'm getting a Megalodon next month. Would you have any recommendations as far as 50 cal ammunition or the 510? You know what, Eric, hey, speaking to you as a friend, I would say do not get the 510. It sounds on paper like you want that because it sounds like bigger is better caliber, but inside of that, what you're gonna end up with is limited ammunition that is not as plentiful or easy to source and more expensive than its sister caliber, the 495 50 caliber. 495 is extremely, extremely, extremely plentiful. You'll find a lot of different people who make good 495. And I personally tested the 495 50 caliber and found the 495 to be extremely reliable and powerful. It's almost like the Goldilocks in the Megalodon lineup, right? I saw the 35, I was like, meh, not big enough caliber. I saw the 45 and I was like, probably shoots pretty flat. Saw the 50 caliber, I was like, it's probably close to 45, but a little bit better. And then I saw 510 and 58, and I was like, you know what, those probably aren't as good. But I got the 58 for myself just because I make videos and I wanted the biggest one to try and make the biggest energy specifically for YouTube. So if I had to do it all over again and I didn't do YouTube and I was just buying it because I wanted a functional item, I would purchase the 50 caliber one, and I would purchase it because it's the best blend of accuracy, power, and reliability, as well as ammo availability that I have seen. I would also get it in the 22-inch barrel. dog food? Is it big dog food time? Big dog food time. You a big dog food time. Come on, big dog. That's my big dog. That's my big dog. Can I get you some food? I'll get you some food. Who's a good roofer? Who's the best roofer in the world? You're a roofer. That's right. Good dog. It's a good dog. You get that food. You get that food. Go ahead and change it up a little bit. Take a look at exactly what we got going on the other machines that we're working with here today. Carbon fiber army green. Kind of a metallic, super sick. This is actually printing out really good. Wow. Shocking how good it is, actually. 3D prints will typically look the worst when they have lighting from the top like this. Top lighting always highlights every single flaw because it's a vertically produced piece, but this looks amazing. It actually kind of does look like metal. The metal finish, gunmetal gray, kind of a storm cloud dark metal gray that we're doing on this one, really coming out good. Big shout out to all the 110 people in the chat currently. The next box here from Texoma Precision Pellets to go ahead and open up with you guys. Let's see what we got in the box here. Super cool. These are super cool. Heck yeah. Check these out. .72 caliber airgun pellets. I'm gonna pull one out. These are wild. Oh, my camera almost decided to leave the building on me. Dang, I got reflexes. Any chance I'll be testing the T30 on my channel? T30 and T338, you know it. This is rad. Let me put it here just for scale. I don't think it's actually out yet. Echo, I don't think it's actually out yet. That might be why you're not seeing too much on it. But I do know that I'll be having one of the first ones. This filament is just super reactive. Honestly, a lot of glow filaments don't cut the mustard, but this glow filament, very, 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 very reactive. Aaron, welcome. Great to have everybody in the chat today. All 141 people. Currently running at about 15% capacity on this farm. We got 4 machines running. If we get to 500 people in the stream, we'll go ahead and fire off a couple more machines. If we get to 1,000 people in the stream, we'll go ahead and fire off 4 more machines, and we'll have an 8 machine stream here. Currently, we're only running 4 mini farm, but if we get the viewership, we'll go ahead and double it up for you guys. I was thinking about trying these out in my 9mm Airgun Leshy 2. It's got a 600mm barrel, but I actually don't know whether or not these 9mm pellets would fit the magazine. So that's something to be investigated. Aaron, MACABESPEED.com. I like to keep it easy for you guys, so just keep the channel name and a .com behind it, MACABESPEED.com. If you use promo code AMERICA in all lowercase, because GoDaddy wants it in lowercase, get 10% off everything on the entire site. The world we live in, 2026, flameless lighter, fascinated by it. My wife got it for me. She knows me, she knows I like stuff like that. Be your own boss. Don't be afraid of it. Reach for that golden ring of entrepreneurship. Reach for the high bar of self-employed income. Doesn't mean you have to stop your 9-to-5 income. It just means you have to work from 5 to 9 after your 9-to-5 is all said and done. Invest in yourself. And if you invest in yourself for enough days in a row, you're going to find you're reaping the rewards of that which you have invested. We've been doing this for since 2023 as an LLC, and we have gotten every single piece of the puzzle in order. We have our city business license, state business license, resale license, EIN numbers, LLC, everything in order. And it is absolutely possible for an average human to do it, because I'm below average intelligence and motivation wise. So if I can do it, guaranteed every single person out there could also do it. I'm well below average in most categories. So I'm telling you guys, if I can do it, you can as well. Less than $1,000 is what it takes typically to start a lucrative company, and most people don't even do it because they're afraid of failure. That fear of failure is the one thing that holds most people back more than anything else. So if you can get past that, man, small business ownership is the greatest feeling in the world if you can just make it happen for yourself. How do you make it happen for yourself? California will help you start an LLC for no money out of pocket, but companies like Zen Business or LegalZoom or online companies like that can help make it happen for you to where you don't miss any steps for like 200, 300 bucks. After 200 to 300 bucks, just go ahead and make sure that you invest in some machines. The machine in front of you was a $25 machine I purchased broken. Then I fixed that machine for about $10 in parts and had a $35 machine. You can still get these machines for less than 100 bucks. And I recommend that anybody who can do so does do so, as far as starting your own company, starting your own small business, chasing that dream of self-employment. It's not such a hard dream to attain once you see the steps clearly defined in front of you. And the steps basically are just go ahead and find a hobby that you don't hate, or that you like enough to where you wouldn't hate doing it for a long period of time, right? So I like what I'm doing in front of you enough to where I can consistently do it and I don't end up hating it. That's step one. Step two is to go ahead and find a space with that hobby to where you can bring some value to, right? This is something that didn't exist before I drew it in CAD. This is something that the factory refused to give us as far as iron sights are concerned. So adding a little bit of value to that platform by giving it iron sights, that's just a way that you can try and see a need and fill a need, right? Got 2 boxes left in our unboxing here. Kind of cut open the next small priority mailbox from Jim at Texoma. AEA Challenger Pro 357 is a great gun. That's an awesome rifle. Challenger Pro 357, whether it's the standard barrel or the long barrel, great offerings. There is something I've seen in a video you made for it that you want to see if you can make me one. Whatever you need. Aaron, just DM me. 100%. I'm happy to make any person any custom item that they ever could ask for. Ooh, this box had some love in it. Frangible 72 caliber hollow point slugs with the 4-leaf pedal design. These are nasty. These are definitely going to expand huge when they hit something with any type of energy. That's rad. Final box, 1 box left. 150 minutes into the stream, 76% completed on our production. Smith & Wesson HRT fixed blade, opening up our packages today. Smith & Wesson HRT is just such a great multifunctional tool. I've used it for so many things, whether it's like small cleaning tasks or whether it's like opening up unboxings. It's just really a good implement. Josh, welcome. Oof. That is an absolute plug of a slug. Oh, damn. How big even is this on weight? That is huge. That is massive. What are we even doing here? That is the craziest airgun pellet I've ever seen in my life. Wild. Good number of views. Nice. Jesse Powlock. Thank you. Shout out Jesse Powlock. Thumbs up. Dude, definitely go check out both those channels. Awesome. Awesome channels. Jesse Powlock inspired me to do these live streams. Now I want to go ahead and compare something for you guys. Check this out. These are two of the largest slugs I've ever seen compared head to head. Appalachian Air Gunner, welcome to the conundrum. Welcome to the chat. Booyaka. 1280 grain round nose, unknown grain, wad cutter. Just basically a lead cylinder. That's wild. Which one do you guys think is more wild, this one or this one? Just throw down A or B in the chat right now. A or B? I'm getting better at this tripod thing. I'm not great at it yet, and it's not perfect like execution, but I am getting better at it. What PCP would you choose on a budget for a home defense around $1,000 budget? Hats on Blitz, 30 caliber. What PU is the barrel band for? This is a Megalodon setup. This is for the AEA Megalodon pump action pre-charged pneumatic air rifle. Very cool. Little upgrade. This is going to go ahead and give you, let's go ahead and talk about it. It just made that bridge. This is a great time to segue into functionality design of this item. Do you see how it's got this exterior window right here in the front post itself? What the goal there is that is going to allow the maximum amount of ambient light to blast into the side of the fiber optic rod so that you get the most light transmission out of the top end of that fiber optic on the business portion of it as a user. So for me, I was like, you know what? I can make this better. I should make this better. And that's what I did. I just cut those big ass windows into the side of the fiber optic bay there, and also recessed all the fasteners. What do we mean recessed fasteners? When I first started making stuff, I had a lot of external fasteners like this. It's not like the worst thing in the world, right? But it's not like the best thing in the world either. So what we've kind of gone ahead and moved to is this nice recessed look. Flush everything. You can see airgun use only. This is meant for the AEA Zeus, but very, very, very clean. Nothing you can snag on. No way you can lose those fasteners. And it is kind of a better design, right? In both situations, we are actually threading into brass backing. So we have extremely strong backing that's going to be able to hold us better than the plastic ever could hope to. But inside of that, it's the head, the business end of it, right, that really has the difference there. And that's going to be external fasteners versus recessed, full recession. Full recession, it's so terrifying. People are always like, whoa, not the recession. Jesse Powlock, nice work. Thank you, my guy. Thank you. Glow in the dark, army green carbon fiber, gunmetal metallic, red like Reagan. See what the poll says. The poll says, should I add more rimfire videos to the channel? Yes, 45%. No, 55%. I love rimfire. Personally, I love rimfire because rimfire in general is the cheapest way that you can physically afford to shoot at this point. Rimfire's 22 LR is still like 6 cents a shot, 10 cents a shot, stuff like that. So it is like the thing that's the least cost prohibitive as far as being able to do something that still has the, like, the capabilities for pesting and such. And then obviously, you know, you have your airgun stuff that goes well beyond 22 LR energy. Something just happened. I heard something fall. That was a telltale sign of failure. Either that or it's a telltale sign that my water heater is about to give out on me. I really do have a fear of that because it's from the 80s, right? They say old pressure vessels are scary. I'm basically standing next to one the whole stream, so terrifying. Let's find out what the noise was. I can't get away from the precision of air guns myself. Appalachian air gunner, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. My air guns will typically put my AKs to shame. Well, a lot of guns will put my AKs to shame, but that's a different story. My air guns are more accurate than my powder burners for the most part. I will say my Smith & Wesson M&P 15 is a nail driver, and that's probably one of the easiest to shoot, lightest, most ergonomic, most intuitive, most accurate rifles I've ever picked up. So that one's really good and can compete with my air guns. But in general, my air guns have beat the crap out of my powder burners. I have to investigate that noise though, because that was super Sketchington. Oh, that's what it was. This slug fell off the build plate. The slug that I had on the build plate fell off. Did it mess up my print? Let's see. I guess we'll know in a few minutes if we have a bunch of artifacts and defects in the coolest color out of the bunch, right? Coming up on 80% completion. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. It's been a really cool stream so far. Don't have any real failures, any real problems with our prints. Had pretty good crowd interaction as well, so no problems there. Give it a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. right. We are running a factory. We are running a farm here, a print farm. Doesn't look like the issue we had earlier with this machine caused us any artifacts or problems. It still seems pretty good, pretty solid. The red down there on the end, just for S&G, looking good. Everything's really coming down to the end of our print today. We're at 87%. Ender 3 V2. No, actually, this is the, these are all the same exact machine. These are the Ender 3 S1 Pro. And the Ender 3 S1 Pro is an awesome machine because it's one of the last machines that really had awesome quality, but also wasn't brickable. Like, right, you can't reach out through an Ethernet cable and take control of this machine. So the fact that these are new enough to be able to spit out quality items, but still old enough to where nobody can reach out and touch them. The new machines, they have that weird firmware. They have those weird options to where people are getting locked out of their machines. People are having files stolen from them. I don't like that kind of connectivity on intellectual property. So this is something that was drawn from absolutely nothing, right? Just shapes and voids, my own design, my own time, my own development, my own testing. And I like these old machines because they will run in absence of Wi-Fi. You don't need an Ethernet cable. These will run strictly on an SD card. Even though we do run them on these clipper pads, they will literally just run right on an SD card right here. So old enough to not be touchable, new enough to still be good. That's like literally my mantra. I want to say thank you very much to all of the 237 people in the chat. Cheers to some heavy matcha. I don't know why. Some matcha packs, like the instant matcha packs, have only got like 2 grams of matcha in it. But this is the matcha to go. And it has 4 grams of matcha in it, right? So this really mentally unlocks me and allows me to do my best thinking. This is the type of stuff that I would drink before I would do CAD. If you know matcha, then you know that it's completely different than an energy drink. It will allow you to think more clearly and more crisp than you were able to think without it. There's no joke there. If anybody has any questions today regarding small business, regarding YouTube, regarding 3D printing, regarding what we're doing here today, be happy to go ahead and answer that for you. Go ahead and throw your comments down in the chat, and I'll do the best I can to go ahead and make sure I pay attention to each and every single one of you guys. Now, this is magical in front of you guys. Do you guys notice what the magic that's being created in front of you is? Do you notice that there's no supports? Just marinate on that for a minute. You're looking at 90-degree, full-on cantilevered overhangs with 0 support because my slicer settings are rad. That's honestly what it comes down to. The last 3 years really been developing really solid, really incredible slicer settings that I feel like have gotten to a point now where, as you see it, there is absolutely no need on this entire print for any support of any type whatsoever. It is making facets and features on this print that defy gravity, and it's doing so with like a cleanliness that is unheard of without support. So honestly, if you did notice that, shout out to you. And if you didn't notice that, hey, take notes, guys. This is really good slicer settings. I do like it. Throw it down if you do the same thing. These are all actually the same exact machine. Jonathan Marks, great question. I actually have more than 25 of the same exact machine because I believe in redundancy. I think that it's better to have the same exact machine so that I can have the same exact replacement parts, know the machines inside and out, know every single error code, every single problem, every single weird symptom, every single artifact causing problem. I like having the same machines, and these S1 Pros are just where it's at for me. Josh, welcome. Got a loophole being delivered today. Can't wait to throw it on my rifle. Took a lot of hard work to afford nice things. I completely validate that. You know, honestly, they say that the things that you want in life are being withheld from you because of the work you're avoiding. So if you're getting those nice things in life, you're obviously not avoiding the work. Here's to you, guy. Cheers to you. We're hustling over here too. We're hustling over here. 4 machines cooking. 4 machines on live stream today. You see the other one about to poke out there with the red material out there on the very, very, very end. And I'm just kind of like running an experiment on it, right? Like yesterday's stream was wildly popular with you guys. You guys really seem to really enjoy this type of a content early in the morning. And honestly, it was the single biggest long format video that I ever put out in my entire 15-year career on YouTube. Did over 61,000 views yesterday on the live stream. So let's just go ahead and check in and see what we've been able to accomplish today. So wild. Bup. Oh, dude, that's wild. 2 days in a row, absolutely breaking my own personal best records, guys. I cannot thank you enough for this. We're currently at 61.5 thousand views for this stream at this point. Cannot thank each and every single one of you guys enough for making this happen. I'm just basically a below average guy with a way above average following, and I really appreciate you guys supporting this channel. Thank you. We are going to go ahead and see this thing all the way through to the end, and we are going to wait until our prints finish, pull each print off, and then compare it as far as filament comparison as well as build plate comparison of all 4 items we were able to create. And then hopefully we'll go ahead and take a poll as far as which one you guys thought was the coolest one. Maybe we'll figure out some kind of giveaway to give these things away to a winner. I know for sure, as it stands, all 4 of these things that I create today are going to be for promotional use only. And I'll just be kind of tossing them as freebies into people's boxes, into people's orders from MACABESPEED.com, making people's days just a little bit brighter, right? But hopefully we'll get some good feedback and some good learning experiences out of these things once they're finished. It's always cool to try new filaments, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with trying new filaments. Glow in the dark is pretty rad. You get the piece you made yesterday shipped off? I did. Great continuity. Absolutely did, my guy. I did. I got that thing put together, 100% finished up, 100% packaged up, labeled out, and sent in the mail. Tracking's already updated on the site too. That's how I'm trying to do it this year for people. I really like giving 24 hours or less for fulfillment on stuff, and sometimes same day if it's possible. Like anything that came in today orders wise, I wouldn't be able to ship because it's Sunday. Tomorrow I also wouldn't be able to ship because of MLK Day being a holiday and there's no postal service. But definitely, as a whole, as a general rule, I do try and have 24-hour fulfillment or better. People want their stuff. People want their stuff. When I see an order come in from Minnesota right now, somebody's nervous, right? Like if you buy 5 Megalodon magazines and you're in an area where there's tons and tons and tons of civil unrest, I know you want your stuff. So I'm trying to get it in your hands as quickly as possible, right? I myself could understand and empathize with that type of a scenario. And if I was the type of person to wait till the last minute to prepare and felt like I needed to get prepared right now, I wouldn't want to wait on somebody else's slow shipping. I would want to make sure that like, bro is on the money with the shipping so I get my shit and can sleep a little bit better at night. Just try to think of your customers the way you would want your customers to think of you, you know, if the situation was reversed. This is kind of a relic right here. This is a casing from a 7.62 by 54R, which is the cartridge common to the Mosin Nagant. Now, when I was a kid, like 18 years old, you used to be able to find Mosin Nagants for like $89 in the Big Five sporting goods section. Now, Big Five doesn't even basically sell firearms of any type whatsoever. And if I see a Mosin Nagant, it's got some Bubba ass build to it, and it's $500+. So, kind of a relic cartridge, kind of a relic caliber, and considering the cost of 7.62 by 54R comparatively to 30-06, it's just not that good of a prep caliber anymore. I know people are going to kind of like hate on that perspective, but I do think that 06 is kind of edging out the 54R now in modern days. What do you guys think? Tyler, it makes me sad too. As a youth, I held those hex barrel, octagon barrel, whatever, that faceted barrel, old school Mosin Nagants, and they were like almost giving them away. And now my buddy's like, "Hey, I got a hookup, 540 out the door plus DROS," and I'm like, "Oh my god, bro, it's a 100-year-old gun." Speaking of Milsurp stuff, tell me you're a 5.56 AK guy without telling me you're a 5.56 AK guy. And just a little feedback on that. I know people don't care about that on this channel. I have a different channel specifically dedicated to powder burning stuff. But the ZPAP M90 is literally peak modern battle rifle evolution. The 5.56 cartridge in the AK platform with the ZPAP M90 build quality from Serbia, very, I don't know, that shit's top tier to me. Josh, you know what's interesting? I feel the same way. Now Aguila Interceptors, the 40 grain Aguila Interceptors are now over $10 a box. So I do hate that. I do hate that, but I love the Interceptors. When you start to see 40 grain 22 LR cartridges cooking off at like 200 pounds of energy, that's a very stout cartridge. And I do like the consistency of the Aguila Interceptor as well. Do seem to have good results for them in most of my 22 LR stuff. Really getting close, guys. We're gonna take it all the way to the end on this one. We're gonna go all the way to the end. We're gonna drive these dusty machines into oblivion, all the way past the finish line, completing 4 prints in 4 hours. And some people might say that's slow, but when you have multiple machines cooking it off and you look at 4 machines, 4 items, 4 hours, it's almost like doing an average of 1 an hour on a much faster machine, but we got it done in, you know, 4 hours at the same level of quality. So I'm happy with this. There's 2 ways that you can drive efficiency, right? You can either drive efficiency through fast equipment, or you can drive efficiency through number of machines. Scale of manufacturing can sometimes beat speed of processing if the scale is grand enough, right? I have more than 25 machines. So I can put all my machines on one file and in 4 hours have 25 of them. There's no way faster machines that I can't afford to buy as many of would be able to keep up. And that's something that you guys will want to keep in mind for yourself, for your own small business models that you're trying to develop for your own financial income streams. These are all facets, and each one of them by itself, not that important, but cumulatively, each one of these decisions will make or break you as a company. All right, guys, we're coming to the end of it. Our stuff is starting to finish. I see parts pulling off. I see things coming to completion. Booyah. There it goes. That's it. We're done. We're finally done. We're going to go from right to left here, the very first one that we started. We're just going to pop it off the plate. Sick, dude. Sick. Super glow in the dark. Let's get our UV on there. Cool. Pretty cool. Pretty reactive. Moving on. Moving on. Unplug the phone so I don't destroy my stream. Booyah. Let's pop this guy off. Listen for it. Listen for it. Listen for it. Oh, good crack there. Good crack off. Nice smooth texture on the bottom. That kind of powder coated textured look to it. And we'll go ahead and compare that directly next to the smooth plate hologram. The white makes it kind of hard to see the hologram, but there is definitely a difference in bottom texture. Let me go ahead. We move over here. Listen for it. Listen for it. Listen for it. Snap. This is good. This looks good. A little bit of stringing. Hit that with the torch. Hit that with the heat gun. And this is just a smooth first layer, no hologram, versus the textured first layer versus the hologram first layer. Let's see if we get a good picture of it. Can a little bit. If you kind of really look, you can see it barely. It shows up better on black. The dark colors definitely do show the textured build plates a little bit better. This was our gunmetal one, and then we got our red one here. Listen for it, listen for it, listen for it. Snap. Another texture bottom. Really good, beautiful first layer. Absolutely beautiful first layers. Nice radius right there, looks good. No drippies. Clean as a damn whistle. No supports. This is rad. And what we're going to be doing with these is we're just going to be going ahead and cleaning up all the stringing, going ahead and hit them with the torch, hit them with the heat gun, and then just toss them into people's boxes, right? Gift with purchase. Somebody picks up a Megalodon mag off the MACABESPEED.com website, boom, maybe toss one of these guys in there for them. Somebody picks up a front rail kit, maybe toss one of these guys in there for them. Really want to go ahead and just use these streams as learning opportunities for people to kind of get more proficient and more familiar with not only 3D printing, but YouTube production, small business management, small business ownership, and that independent financial mindset. If you've liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. You want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the channel as well as when these streams come out. If you really like what you saw today, giving you the absolute latest and greatest in the Airgun underground, make sure you share it so somebody else can see it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.